Hey everybody, Chris here. So Dogecoin patterns are looking super bullish. We're going to take a look at that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we were live Wednesday afternoon. We were watching Dogecoin trying to get over 13 cents. Didn't quite make it. We also sketched on the chart what Doge could possibly do overnight, and it pretty much followed that as well. So there is a little bit of predictability happening in the crypto markets, so we'll be watching that as well. But we have looked at the bigger picture. The 4-year cycles are still in play. We'll take a look at that. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look at the charts and the news, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. We'll start here by looking at the Dogecoin chart, and Doge is still over 12 cents. This is what we were looking at last night, where Doge was surging up to right about 13 cents. Didn't quite make it. And during the live stream, somebody said, hey, it looks like cat ears. So we drew them. It could be dog ears as well for Dogecoin. But at the end of the live stream, someone was asking about buying on a dip and whether I thought Doge would have a dip, and I sketched that line coming back down into the low 12s, and I said, well, if Bitcoin doesn't hold 67K, goes down into the 66s, Doge most likely is going to come down into the low 12s. So what do we have for Bitcoin? Bitcoin is now at 66.8. So Bitcoin didn't hold 67, has come down into the 66s, and Doge is in the low 12s. So that's the predictable part on it, but let's zoom out and let's take a bigger picture, because that's what we want to look at for patterns. We look on a 4-hour chart, and Doge did have this. Here's our rocket that we had again from Monday night's live stream, and Doge did follow that rocket up and hit my October price prediction line, but has retraced off of that. Bitcoin, not quite as high of a percentage gain, but did have a nice gain up to 68K, and has retraced from there. So retraces do happen even during bull markets. And yes, we are in a bull market. What we are establishing again is higher highs, and we will continue to see higher lows going forward. And we'll see that with Doge as well, as we see again higher highs and higher lows. And we'll see where we print the next low. My guess is it's going to be right around here, right in the lower 12s, maybe hit even into the 11s again before turning around and coming back up. So what does this mean again on the big picture? Well, again, on Bitcoin, if we go to the daily chart, we are looking at the breakout from the downward channel that Bitcoin has been in. It has been just a slight breakout, probably come back and retest before moving up higher. And for Doge, again, Doge broke out of its downward trend here last month and is now seeking to make a new higher high for Doge. We look at the stages of the Bitcoin cycle. We've been looking at 4-year cycles again and again. And why 4-year cycles? Not only is it tied to the Bitcoin halving, which happens every 4 years, we have a US presidential election every 4 years, which is a big deal. We have the M2 money supply. We have cycles that happen in the money supply, and typically right around that US presidential election time, it's the same pattern that we see in M2 money supply, where there is more money in the markets for deploying and buying, and prices do tend to go up. So those kind of patterns happen, and typically with Bitcoin, after a Bitcoin halving, there's a correction, price comes up, there are bear traps along the way, and we've seen those bear traps particularly through the summer, and eventually we get the greed and speculators and a blow off top. So those are the stages we see. And then looking again, each 4-year cycle, we have the halving followed by a run-up, halving followed by a run-up, halving followed by a run-up. And here, we just had the halving earlier this year. The price of Bitcoin was actually higher than the previous all-time high before the halving, thanks to the excitement around the Bitcoin spot ETFs, which began in February. So we had that big run up, but that doesn't mean that that's the top, just because we hit 73K, which was higher than the previous 69. I believe that we are Again, we're having some of those bear traps and corrections before the big run up. And there is most likely going to be a big run up. So historically, Bitcoin's bear markets have retraced in each cycle to a higher floor, leading to successively higher lows, showing the progressively higher market equilibrium. This is due to the dramatic returns achieved during the bull market phase. While market tops are typically overvalued, bottoms are often undervalued, and a new equilibrium forms after prices stabilize. Speculative excesses are flushed out. So that's why, afterwards, when we get into the bear market, the price never comes down all of the way to where it was the previous cycle. And that has happened again 3 times in Bitcoin's history, and we're now looking at the 4th. Again, twice in Dogecoin's history, and now we are looking at the 3rd. The market eventually seeks a new equilibrium where price more accurately reflects underlying supply-demand fundamentals. So, that is what we have for Bitcoin. Now, this is an interesting chart that Zero put up. It's like the yearly Bitcoin chart. And we can see that we have green, black, green, 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 black, green, 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 black, green, green. And the next is going to be green. So blacks are the bear markets, 2022, right? And black is the bear market, 2018, followed by 2019, 2020, and 2021, where we hit that all-time high. 2022 bear, 2023 bull, and now we're in 2024. We did come up higher to 73K earlier this year. That doesn't mean this year is done, though. This could actually go higher. And then we've got 2025 still to come, which traditionally every 4 years is another green candle. Notice the big wicks, though, at the top of those. So most likely there will be a wick sometime in 2025, and then price will come back down later in that year. So that is the 4-year cycle. Again, in our live streams, we get into more detail on that. If you have any questions about that with me, my next live stream will be Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. East Coast time. I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, here in the United States. So join in on the live stream and we can get more into detail about that. But the other thing that's happening that's really different right now is this is the year of the meme. And Zero is really high on Bonk and thinks that Bonk is trading very similarly to how Dogecoin traded back in 2019, 2020, and draws this comparison and says, look, this could be what happens to Bonk. We could see this huge run up in Bonk. Could that really happen? I'm saying, well, we could call this Dogecoin, and we say, well, Dogecoin traded like this before, and we could see Doge do this again as well. This is when Doge traded up to a penny. This was at the end of 2020, retraced the beginning of 2021, which included that January 6th dip, which went all the way down to 0.006. But then, the end of January, we saw Doge go from 1 cent all the way up to 8 cents. And it was just a huge run over 2 days that Dogecoin did. Could Bonk do? Sure, why not, right? This is the year of the meme. Anything can happen, right? But I think that might be more Doge as well. Dogecoin Fear and Greed Index is 66 right now. It did peak up at around 71 and has come back down to 66. I'm guessing today with a retrace, it's probably going to be down a little bit lower, but greed is still there. And of course, it's higher than it was earlier in the week at 63. And before that, it was 59. And then it was neutral 51. So we've seen that greed going up. But for Dogecoin and Bonk, meme coin prices are pumping. And here's why. We look at yesterday, we had Doge up 12%, we had Bonk up 13%, Floki up 5%, and WIF, Pepe, and Sheep are all up 4%. So what we're seeing is every time there's green across the market, it's the meme coins, and these top meme coins are the ones that are outperforming most other cryptos when we start seeing runs up. So that's looking very bullish for the meme coins, and these are the major meme coins in the top 100 coins overall that are the ones that are moving up faster. Dogecoin outperforms rivals amid ties to Tesla CEO Elon Musk. We covered this in detail yesterday, both in my video in the morning and on the live stream. So I won't get into too much detail about that because, again, we want to talk about patterns. And one of the things we also talked about in the live stream is BTC to Doge. How I think Dogecoin is going to outperform Bitcoin over at least the next 6 months because Bitcoin has been able to hold a pretty high level while Dogecoin dropped down over the summer. And now Doge is going to turn around and come back. And I just saw this morning. It's like, here's someone writing about how to convert Bitcoin to Dogecoin using a swap, because I think a lot of people are going to be doing this. They're going to be taking their profits from Bitcoin right now, switching over to memes, most likely wanting to get into Doge before the big Doge FOMO kicks in. Doge is going to outperform Bitcoin, and then when Doge has a blow-off top of its own, you could swap it back into Bitcoin, and you'll end up with more Bitcoin. So that's what we talked about in the live stream on Wednesday. We can talk more about that on Friday if you want. Trader Allen is saying Dogecoin has similar patterns to what happened before. He's looking back to the 2016, 2017 run up, and Allen's saying Doge is very, very similar in its pattern. Now, what's happening from 2022, where we hit the bottom at 4.9, we came back to another bottom in 2023. That was that 5.8 where we were buying Dogecoin a year ago. That's right, just a year ago, we were buying Doge at 5.8 cents, a run up and a wedge. So that happened 2015 to 2016, a run up and a wedge, had a little bit of a dip. And so here's the dip we just had. Could this mean we're going to be repeating that same? So this is the fractal here from 2014 or 2017 right here. And could we be seeing that same thing coming for Doge? So we're going to want to look again back at the 4-year cycle patterns. Again, looking back at Bitcoin, 4-year cycles do tend to repeat. And we've looked at Doge from back in 2016, 2017. We've looked at 2020, 2021, and Master Kenobi is reminding us again a pattern from 2020 into 2021, how Doge traded, and could we see that same pattern happening? And if we do, we would see price 1 when Doge moved up to a penny, price 2 up to 8 cents. And again, this is on a percentage basis, a logarithmic scale here, price 2, and then the blow off up to 73 cents. Even if we didn't do that, and just percentage wise, the gains to P1 and P2, from here, P1 gets us to about 40 cents and P2 gets us to about $2.70. So that's the kind of move that Dogecoin is capable of on a percentage basis if it repeats. We know we've got the 4-year cycles, but we have talked about laws of diminishing returns. Dogecoin has a larger market cap now, so may not see the same kind of percentage gains that we saw back here in 2020 and 2021, but still that gives us just a glimpse of what Doge can do. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Again, overall, the chart is still looking very bullish. This is a retrace happening today, not unexpected. Join in the live stream on Friday. We're going to have some fun, also an AMA part of it. So always Fridays, having fun. Again, leave a comment below. What do you think about Dogecoin's price and these patterns? Give the video a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.